Oh, hello there, and welcome back to Captain's Draft 4.0 by Events DC. Game number 1 of our best-of-5 grand finals in the books, and it's Secret able to do it despite a bumpy early game. We are back with our panel once again here, boys. What an interesting game one that turned out to be.
Bumpy? That was a canyon. That game was over.
Was crazy.
They had no right winning that game, and I'm sure they feel the same way.
I wouldn't say no right.
Oh, come on.
I was very confident that my prediction was wrong at one point in the game. I forgot that I had picked the correct winning team. My mental game was out. I was just kind of like a spectator. And then I remembered, oh, they turned it around and I'm going to win. This feels good. So, like, if Vici just didn't lose that terrible team fight there, they would have closed it out, in my opinion, because they had such a big advantage. But the thing was that Secret's picks were good against the Medusa. We definitely saw that by the later points of the game where they started coming back, draining her mana and things like that. They had tools against those things. So as long as Vici just got a big advantage, like 1 racks, 2 racks advantage, they could have closed it up for sure. But because they lost in that moment, everything turned around.
Gotta give so much credit to Secret there, keeping their composure. I think a lot of teams would have crumbled in that situation. They stayed together and fought back. Besides that, I overheard a little bit of Vici's conversation in the back, and part of it was on itemization as well. I think we point out Old 11, he went for that data list after that great start. They were saying basically like, you need BKBs. You can't underestimate the effect of this Keeper of the Light. And part of that effect is so much of Vici's lineup, their damage was based on big ults. So you have the Chronosphere, and you have obviously the Doom, and you also have Medusa's ult. Once those ults are down, if you're not able to decisively beat Secret at the start of the fight, you're going to lose in the long run to the Ogre spam, to the Keeper of the Light with the heals, to the saves, to Lifestealer, who certainly doesn't need an ult to just keep slapping away. So Secret knew exactly what they had to do. Vici gave them an opening, and Secret were able to take that. So
yeah, that was that crucial fight at the tier 2, the dire tier 2 bottom, where I think I was watching with you, Trent, and you're like, wait, the Mirana died? And it was Lifestealer off by himself. He ends up killing Mirana with a little bit of help from Ogre. If she just has a BKB, Mirana pops BKB, maybe tries to kill Ogre, maybe works on somebody else. Like, I understand why he bought a Daedalus. He probably wanted an item that actually makes him more effective against Lifestealer. And it does make you a bit of a glass cannon, and Leap isn't always going to be enough once there's disables.
Yeah, I think his starting itemization was like Phase, Windlace, and Mjolnir. So it was just hard on the damage.
You got an Aquila Wand, okay? Those are the important things you got to remember.
That's true. We'll get them in.
It was a little greedy, but I think the Mjolnir was fine. Just they needed to not do those throwy, like, bunches of kills, 2 buybacks on cores. That's what changed the whole game.
Yeah. Also, standout performance from YapzOr. I mean, Ace also got a lot of space. He farmed very well, but YapzOr, he went from support to core within like the first 10 minutes of that game, despite Secret having so many issues. And obviously, the Keeper of the Light having that ag so early on, that early force staff, it helped keep Secret in that game.
I'd say that Fata was even more impressive, honestly, because he got kind of shafted. Of course, he's been given this Ogre. He's like going this off lane, and all right, guys, so what am I doing this game? Oh, you're going to buy a Shadow Blade, and you're going to be the Infest Bomb. So good luck. But he was able to keep up and farm, got some nice kills.
His itemization was like exactly what Secret needed, because we were trying to figure out what they need. Even the casters weren't sure. Ags is like an item you need on Ogre at some point, but if he would have bought that first, they wouldn't have gotten that crucial kill, and then maybe he would have died at the start of a fight even after he initiates. But like Ogre as an offlane, he doesn't become something until you have to have very specific items that help him become something, because otherwise you're just 1 Ignite, 1 Fire Blast. That is not enough contribution. It's basically like you don't have an ultimate. Even if you get like a 3 times Fire Blast, I would still trade other heroes for Ogre as an offlane. But if he gets a Shadow Blade and then a couple big team fight swings, and all of a sudden he's got mags, everything changes. So his itemization was perfect there, and it was really what Secret needed to have better impact late game and help Lifestealer make it.
One of the great things about this tournament, you get to see a core Ogre, which is pretty rare. And I can't remember the last time I saw it in a regular Captain's Mode game. And then you see that they have like small synergies with that as well. So you have the OD Aura, even though mid one seemed like he was dead most of the time around the fights, you have that to replenish the mana of the Ogre. He got his own Soul Ring, and you have the Keeper of Light that allows him to spam his spells again and again. So there's those small synergies as well that worked out for them.
That's actually a huge point, because once you get Ags, your mana pool is gone, and then you run out of stuns, and then you're kind of just like every 6 seconds you cast Honor Find. So that was surely a big part.
Absolutely. So, all right, with that, we've got a special treat before we get into game number 2. Sir Action Slack spent some time around our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. We've got the final piece of his adventures with Thomas Rutherford,
Goodfellow.
Whatever the hell his name is. There it is, Goodfellow. Let's take a look.
And our final stop of our DC tour for Captain's Draft 4, we are at the Lincoln Memorial, and it's time to visit our friend for the last time, our good friend Thomas Rutherford Goodfellow. I summon the ghost! Oh, Thomas, you're here!
No, you can't keep doing this to me.
Thomas, What can you tell us about the Lincoln Memorial?
I don't even know who Lincoln is.
What do you mean?
Why are we here? Are you the devil? What are we doing?
Well, I can tell you some facts about it, Thomas. Originally, Abraham Lincoln was supposed to be made out of bronze.
I don't need to hear this. I don't care. My wife, she needs my help. What are we doing here?
All right. Well, Thomas, it's inspired by Greek and Roman architecture, bringing in kind of the history of the world and the greatest builders of our time.
I don't care. I need my wife. What will she think when I am not to be there? Do you understand? Why have you taken me of all people? Anybody else would have done. George Washington, Horatio Gates, but you take me from my loving family. My children are dead. They died in my arms, emaciated.
40% of the monument is actually underground, holding that heavy structure up. Did you know that Abraham Lincoln is twice as big as originally planned in the building?
I don't know who this Lincoln is, and I don't care.
If you look closely, really closely at Abe's hands, he's using American Sign Language to say A and L, his initials.
I don't even know what sign language is.
Now here's a really fun fact that I think you'll really enjoy. On the walls, they have his speech written, and there's a typo. Where it says future, they accidentally put an E and they had to scratch it out. So even the founding fathers can make a few mistakes.
The only mistake that's ever been made has been me being brought here. Who is Abraham Lincoln? Who are you? When are we? What year is it? What is that iron goose in the sky?
That's a plane. Well, I do have some very good news for you. This one you'll really enjoy. I know that it's been rough traveling to the future and giving us these tours.
It has.
And I have some closure.
Oh.
What day is it for you today, Thomas?
December the 30th, 1810.
Well, guess what day you finally get to rest? Thomas Rutherford Goodfellow dies of syphilis on the 30th of 1810. It's tomorrow. You get to rest, buddy.
That damn wife.
Thanks for watching Cactus Draft 4, everybody. Have a wonderful new year.
All right. Thank you, as always, Sir Action Slacks. Another amazing piece in the nation's capital. A little chilly that day. I don't know if you caught those details, but those were real shivers from poor Mott. That costume is not very insulated.
It wasn't quivering with anger? That was just
no, it was
cold? Oh.
He was freezing.
Both, I guess.
He was. I think that was a one-take kind of a video. Let's run back inside quickly, please.
He did great for one take. That's good.
Oh, my. All right, so looking forward, game number 2, Secret Vici. How are we feeling now looking towards this next match?
I feel like that match was really interesting to talk about strategy-wise because Vici's draft did exactly what it needed to do. They got really ahead. They picked the heroes they needed to get the kills. Doom in the early game was effective. Chrono was effective in the early game. And if they just ignored that throw period, they would have been fine. So I feel like Vici can learn something really good from that. Be a little careful at these kind of windows. They exploited this really well. And Secret on the other side doesn't want to let that early game stuff happen again because next time that happens, Vici might be the careful ones, and they might close the game out simply. So I feel like both teams can really grow a lot from that match.
I would say from an outside perspective, it's often difficult to talk about mentality of teams. You know, you can't really tell what they're thinking all too much. But after a game like that, you've got to imagine that's got to hurt. Like, come on now. You were that far up. Everything looked perfect. It's exactly how you'd imagine you want that draft to play out. And you could see it in all the numbers. Everything was going right for them.
Perhaps you can weigh on throwing a victory, Andrew.
Yes.
on that
Mr. Dazzle.
Yeah, now that we have a lot of experience with this from ability draft. Now, for us, we only had to play a best of 1, so it was pretty easy to go, oh, well, at least we killed Mott 15 times. That's a victory.
Yeah.
I don't know if they get that out of game 1 of this best of 5, so maybe not the closest.
Thanks for the carry, by the way, Jack. Great job.
Yeah, Jack, seriously, congratulations. Well done
King
on that
Jack.
divine rapier.
Thanks. I just wanted to make Coach Purge proud, and I heard some of the things he was saying. It really hurt me inside, but I'm glad we won.
They were bad item choices for Jack. But
Yeah,
it's okay.
we took off the noise canceling to make sure the players could actually hear themselves being berated, as these guys unfortunately don't have that pleasure with the white noise.
I want to go back to Trent's point about mentality, because right now I can see one of the guys still looking at the replay from the game. How a team resets from some of these losses. Like when you knew that you had the game in a stranglehold and a couple mistakes later, you're somehow on the losing end. That was really important. I think now's not the time to really really go back and try to learn from some of these things, or at least you don't want to be focused on that. You want to be playing the next game, and you don't want to say that, you know, draft or anything else was bad. It was really just that one period of time. And so that's like a philosophical point that teams worry about too, right? Do we just have to immediately go over everything and try to learn from that? Some teams will say yes. Other teams will say we just have to reset and put that behind us and move to the next game.
Wouldn't you say that it kind of depends on the person, I feel like. There's probably some players that might think, why did X fight go bad? Because, you know, when you play a Dota game, it's very easy that you'll see one part of the fight, but you really need to watch 3 different perspectives if it gets too spaced out. And then once you see those, you can really understand why we lost X fight. You can settle it out of your mind. I now know. I can move on. I feel like there are some players for sure that they need to just simply go forward, because otherwise they'll focus on, oh, X player played bad. But no, maybe it'll help them in the long run.
Yeah, it makes me excited for the rest of this series, though. There was a moment at the beginning of that game, and it was 3-19, and I was thinking, oh, God, is this going to be 3 30-minute games, and we're going to be done with this finals? But it's good that Secret, you know, Vici gave them the opening. They still could, right? But Secret took the opening, and they were able to take the game with it. And I think that's the most impressive part. Sure, Vici allowed that to happen by maybe getting a little over-aggressive with that positioning and getting caught off after the buybacks, but Secret were able to turn that pivot point into a win. Yeah, and that's what was really exciting.
We talked a lot about the mistakes they made, but of course we always have to go for the capitalization from Team Secret to still be able to find a pick like that. Puppey especially, the swaps were completely on point of that. And now we move into Game 2 with their 1-0 lead.
Absolutely. Vici versus Secret Game 2. This is it, folks. The best of 5 grand finals here for Captain's Draft 4.0.
Lone Druid, definitely the standout hero for me here, along with that Magnus.
So a potential Huskar cheese pick, too.
Lanham Brewmaster.
Huskar Wisp, also a Huskar Oracle.
Goodbye.
There's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of heroes in this pool that we haven't seen much yet this tournament. Bounty Hunter could be picked to fill in the gaps a little bit.
Really haven't seen very much Death Prophet. This might be the first pool we've seen Oracle on the main stage. I can't think of too many others.
He was probably there, just nobody touched him.
Yeah.
Just don't care.
You would think these Lone Druids, Huskars, and Razors might be out pretty early. There's also the Magnus that we've seen really key a couple of drafts throughout this tournament. So
a lot of good
support
supports.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was just thinking Lion, Witch Doctor, Bane.
Night Stalker.
There is also an anti-mage that we
Rubik.
saw picked early on, on like the second pick, I think, of an earlier game in the tournament.
Yeah.
And I think in a limited pool, this hero, depending on the other cores you're up against, or if people can put together this kind of fast draft, which we've seen teams really struggle to do, has added value as well.
Purge, what do you think about the Drow right now? We've seen a couple teams gravitate towards that pick. We saw one team grab it first. We've seen it picked last. Has Drow been successful at all through this event? It doesn't feel like it, though. I don't have that stat in front of me.
So. For the games I've watched, I feel like she hasn't done very well. I definitely think she needs to be picked later.
Yeah.
And her lane advantage that she gives, it's so pathetic right now. It's 3 damage at level 1, so I mean, ideally, in a best-case scenario, the offlaner is either killed or zoned often, she gets a fast level 6, and then you can better help out your team a little bit faster, but I feel like it's been hard to get to that position. I think Vici Gaming and most pro teams do still value her because of those reasons, that they can, even if they know that they're not going to do great in the late game, they can play this like perfect 30-minute game and have so much advantage that it doesn't matter if she's a little bit weaker later. They'll have all this discipline when they go high ground, and she's good at killing towers. So I think she still has potential. I definitely struggle to see her excellence, as I feel like the average pub player does as well. But I'm sure there's a good reason.
With the idea of Anti-Mage maybe lacking some of those catch counters, the Storm Spirit's also still in the pool here.
Yeah, another good one to bring up. A lot of these heroes we've talked about now getting banned out. We didn't mention Weaver, but too much, and yesterday that was one of the key heroes. Paparazzi had a really standout performance, dying only once in that second game against OG.
Should be the Lone Druid here, I would assume, and then we will begin our picking phase.
I mean, I assume we'll see Mag with Razor, Rubik most likely. Get some feedback.
Yeah.
Jack, what do you think here, man? You into anything
still,
here? You like that DP?
I think they're a little worried. I mean, there's still the Oracle that goes with the Huskar. There's a lot of different ways to go. With the Anti-Mage out, I think that makes something like Pugna more of a choice as well.
Yeah. If there's one team that's ever been very good with Huskar, it's definitely Secret.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
so that'll be removed.
Looks like Vici have done some homework here, and a quick first pick, Razor for Team Secret.
Decent way to deal with the bear. So now they kind of guard themselves up against a Vici Gaming Lone Druid and still leave the option for themselves.
Razor feels like the core version of Disruptor in Captain's Draft, where you can't really go wrong by grabbing him first in a lot of pools. He fits in with a lot of different drafts, very strong laner, doesn't have a lot of hard counters.
He definitely he has less things that he excels against is the only big negative, is that he's not always going to farm super fast, and sometimes does just get out-carried late game. Force Staff kind of just counters him in a lot of cases too.
That's true.
The
Bane
old
pickup.
Bane +1. What a hero. This guy's been so stable for a while now. Great
there-
position 5 to just roam
Oh,
around.
it's 100. Okay. I thought there was a Rasta in the pool for a second. It's like, oh.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah, I know.
We would need him.
But Bane also quite good. We've noticed like BKB piercing disables has also been a rare treat in a lot of these drafts.
So lane bully that Vici likes quite a bit. Something they might look to later in the draft or to protect would be something like a sniper against Razor. This is a hero that some teams pick up thinking that's a good matchup.
Yeah, Sniper or Weaver, probably two of the better, at least cores left in terms of dealing with that link. Deciding.
Yeah, Vici thinking hard about
I
this.
think they banned, yeah, Weaver's banned. So
Oh, that's right. Oh, well, that would be an issue then. Probably not going to get that one.
I mean, I feel like something like, I mean, maybe Night Stalker is too. Okay, they'll go for an Earthshaker instead. Stuns are good.
To the Rubik.
And the Rubik right away. No surprise there. Rubik against the Earthshaker.
I
A
mean,
classic.
It's Yapsor.
And
Come
it's
on
Yapsor.
now.
That too.
If they get Rubik and
Better
Lone
on you.
Druid, I don't even need to see the rest of the draft. I
Yeah.
think I'm good.
It's also just Rubik. Rubik's just really good right now. You know, increase your team's magic damage, stuff like that. Very effective.
There's still a lot of like major strategy elements left in this draft, right? We still have Magnus. There's possibilities for Empower strategies. There's IO possibilities you might go into. The Night Stalker that you discussed in terms of like maybe some early aggression, playing around vision.
Yeah, I feel like Secret can easily grab Night Stalker here, but they may want to wait a little bit just to wait till they see some cores out of Vici, because Night Stalker is very good against Bane. I would say good against Earthshaker, but if you have a Rubik and a Night Stalker and they don't match up well against whatever cores you're against, then it can be tough.
There is a Magnus Ursa. I guess since you pick up the Razor, that kind of deters a potential Ursa pick for Vici, but another one of those combos.
Things are tense, man. You're looking at this game after
really
what
is.
happened in the last match, trying to figure out like, okay, what did we go wrong with? Maybe could we have had something better to secure Roche? Do we need a better way to force down towers so we can keep up some sustainability, something like that? Why did our 15K lead suddenly evaporate?
I really think it just came down to because Vici wasn't quite all together while they had Chrono up. They were a little bit too spread out. There were a couple openings. They got a couple kills, and it just snowballed with a little bit of sloppy play. So they do go for the Night Stalker. Super good Bane solution. You should always be able to find him in fights. If you get gripped, you have 2 spells that can interrupt it, so makes that a lot more limited. Still, Bane very good as a hero, but Night Stalker definitely makes him harder to play. Death Prophet for the Vici pick. It's a hero that doesn't really rely on her right-click damage. She can ulti Spirit Siphon the Razor and still be semi-competitive there, but it's a little scary, I would say. But definitely still works well.
I mean, if you're looking at like a lane matchup still left in the pool, certainly one of the better opportunities for them.
Yeah, and I think Vici's played DP quite a bit in the past, right?
Yeah, definitely. She's just well-rounded.
It's like a safe, solid pick for everyone. You don't have to worry about it too much mid. You can potentially gank. You can turn around a lot of these ganks as Night Stalker's on you. You're not as afraid as Death Prophet early on. So, but Razor can lane pretty well against it if they choose to put the Razor mid.
And it's Centaur. Okay, a big boy in the off lane.
Yeah, we have not talked much about that off lane pool, and it is quite low. The Magnus is still there.
Magnus
but
and Axe, I think, are the big two.
obviously Centaur and Death Prophet have a lot better synergy together with the Stampede, and DP just roaming through the entire fight compared to something like Empower or RP doesn't sync up with her nearly as well.
It's great against Razor as well. There's Stampede to run away from the static link. Night Stalker only has slows. Rubik will have a stun, but max movement speed is really useful here.
I feel like this encourages something like a Lifestealer pick again, as we saw Secret run last game.
For what reason? Because it's okay against Centaur and
You have,
Death Prophet?
you have a vehicle, you have someone that goes in and against Centaur and Death Prophet as well. And you can really only use the Bane to disable him at that point.
And this Night Stalker has become much better with Lifestealer because of his Hunter in the Night being able to fly over the trees, over cliffs, just way more high mobility, especially with that really early like level 6 gank or something like that. Trying to enable him right out of the armlet, which is what Secret was definitely lacking last game. I mean, when they had Ace on that Lifestealer, he gets an armlet and he just has to just farm. That was it. He had to wait for an Ogre to get into a Shadow Blade. Even that didn't help him that much. Then he needed that big chain stun with the Aghanim Scepter, and finally it was like Ace just came online. He was finally enabled by the rest of his team.
And for lane, so you have a decent mid matchup if you have the Razor in there, and then Razor is also one of the counters to Lifestealer as well.
I really like the Vici draft has a lot of heroes that break up team fights, right? Like DP really excels in these long, drawn-out fights where she doesn't get bursted, and they have a lot of unconventional saves. You know, no Dazzle Grave or something like that, but heroes that are just really good at stopping gap closers. But now Sniper going to be the fourth for Secret.
I just really wasn't sold on Lifestealer. I feel like it would leave Secret too lacking in terms of team fight. Because between Lifestealer, Night Stalker, Rubik, they have disables and stuff, but it's more like small skirmishes, gank kind of levels. It's not like you jump in and drop a Chronosaur. Even like dropping multiple shrapnels gives you so much more teamfight control than what Lifestealer can produce, especially against Bane Fiend's Grip. And yeah, he's good against Death Prophet, Centaur War Runner, but they also have some advantages back the other way. So yeah, I think they needed some teamfight to bring it together. They needed a carry that was kind of effective at staying away from them. And as long as Sniper can stay at the back of the fight, doesn't get initiated on by like Centaur, I think this can work.
We've seen them do the Sniper Enigma pairing a lot, actually, in Captain's War. Maybe not recently, before. It's just something that protects you from being able to close the gap.
Bit risky. This game, I would say, for the Enigma in terms of the black holes, looks pretty difficult. You have long-ranging silences. You got the Earthshaker, you got the Bane.
That's true.
So certainly going to be that BKB style of a game, and more about those like maybe solo pickoffs or something.
It is nice for Vici they have at least one tool to interrupt a BKB black hole if Bane's in the right position, but going to need to be in the right place at the right time for that one to be a reality.
This could be a safe storm, perhaps. Again, you need someone that can get to the back. Not the best toolkit for disabling him, other than maybe the silence and lift.
That's interesting.
YapzOr has such a good game here. A lot of good spells to steal.
Yeah, that's really true.
And of course, he's very good at going off in those kind of games. That's kind of his thing, you know. So
This is a really tough last pick for Vici. It's not going to be the Lifestealer, it's the Storm, so Jack calls it. Well done.
He could kind of get out of hand this game, that's for sure. Razor basically can't do anything against Storm Spirit as long as Storm is mana, so it kind of comes down to whether or not YapzOr on the Rubik and the Night Stalker can prevent him from going crazy, maybe a lot of early ganks. I definitely think that'll be the pressure area for Secret to go.
All right, predictions. What do we got, Trent? We're starting with you this time, buddy.
I'm going to have to go with the Secret draft. I like the YapzOr Rubik, a classic. I'm not super sold on the Centaur and the DP. I feel like Secret just have a little bit of an edge here.
Purge?
I agree with Secret. I think they rounded out their lineup really good at the end. I think they have the better draft here.
Jack?
I'm going the opposite way. I like Vici. I think there's a lot of ways to deal with this black hole. I think the Storm's going to have a really good game and be able to take over.
I'm going to go in the Secret camp as well. I, too, believe in the YapzOr Rubik, but we will see what happens here again. It's going to be Sunsfan and Synderen, our two casters for this grand finals. Game 2 starts now.
Oh, boy. Well, Game 2, if Game 1 was any indication, this should be an okay best-of-5 grand finals, I think. We have a Centaur in the game, so I'm very excited about that. But at the same time, there's a Death Prophet who's been quite underwhelming in Captain's Draft, I want to say.
So what's the bigger thing for you? Your hate for DP or your love for Centaur? Because they're in the same team.
I wouldn't say I hate DP.
It's like net zero?
Yeah. No, I think my love for Centaur is way out of hand. It's actually unnatural at a certain point. But Storm Spirit, I agree with the panel. Storm Spirit has a very good game setup for him potentially, but at the same time, I mean, we saw the Rubik from YapzOr how many times now? 1 million?
Yeah.
And
these
are some of the best spells in the game. You get the Zip from Storm Spirit, you get Fissure, you get an easy Fiend's Grip if you want from Bane. Just an incredible plethora of skills available for YapzOr to take advantage of.
Yeah, this is the type of game where you can definitely shine on Rubik, but at the same time, I'm happy for Vici that they last picked the Storm, because I think absolutely any other hero, and I would felt like they're just flat out outdrafted. But this hero, if it has a good game, I think can solve some of the problems that they had. I'm pretty sure Vici actually wanted the Sniper that Secret took, because that's one hero that they could take that has a good matchup against the Razor in the game and can distance himself from a hero like Enigma as well. But Secret kind of covered their bases very nicely with this draft. So yeah, going to see how the lanes go for Vici Gaming. Heroes to really watch out for in this game, in my opinion, are the Storm Spirit, as mentioned. I think Earthshaker can play a really big role. I think it's important that Lanham doesn't waste his Fissure, because it's going to be necessary to try to cut off the Razor's advances, to cancel Black Hole. And on Secret's lineup, Vision is going to be the name of the game here, with both the Shrapnel and the Night Stalker Vision advantage. Secret will try to play a game where they just flat out gain advantages in Vision and then get the better jump. If you just look at this from a flat teamfight perspective, Secret's teamfight is actually not that good. Like they have Black Hole, which is a great teamfight ability. Plasma Field deals some damage, but Rubik doesn't really have much to offer in a teamfight unless he steals it. Night Stalker is an atrocious teamfighter, but gives Vision. Sniper is okay. You look at the other side, there's like Echo Slam, Exorcism, Stampede, and even a Storm Spirit who has very few bad matchups in the game. So
Yep, that's definitely true.
see if Secret can enforce that type of game plan. I think overall I have a pretty good feeling for Vici Gaming if Paparazzi gets off to
So
a
is
good
that
start.
your prediction?
Yeah, I
Vici
think
Gaming?
I'll take Vici overall, but only because they picked Storm. Else I would have gone against them no matter what.
Right. Yeah, not the greatest control for Storm. Secret, that is. Only until Enigma was picked up, their only actual stun other than the mini stun from... Actually, Void doesn't even have a mini stun anymore, right?
It does at nighttime.
It does at nighttime?
It also does at daytime. I think it was a bug at one point that it didn't.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then it got fixed.
But the only actual stun...
Oh, Paparazzi. This is a classic Storm mid game. Tri-lane mid.
Attempting a TP out. It's going to be a close one. He does get out. It's at his tier 1 mid. Now he just has to bring out a health cell and he'll be okay. But Fenrir, he's kind of okay with this. He's going to get a lot of XP as a result, although Paparazzi looks like he's still going to stick to the lane for now. Yapzor in mid 1. See this Enfeeble come into play for Fenrir. One of the more annoying spells in the game, to be sure. There's a telekinesis and the right clicks. This should be first blood for Secret, unless you get the miss chance. He's going to go through the trees. One more, and down he goes Yapzor with first blood. That's a scary proposition for Vici Gaming.
This is one of the
they can steal this game.
biggest benefits from a drafting perspective in having Razor is that he has a really great matchup against Centaur, so they don't need to do anything top. They can just tri-lane mid and not even feel bad about it. It's not like, oh, we're going to get pressured in our safe lane. There's no way Ace
They're going to try for it again. Telekinesis into the shrapnel. A second one comes in as well. The TP support in the form of Earthshaker's coming in. The Brain Sap not nearly enough. Fenrir drops to the deck. Earthshaker didn't even bother finishing the TP, knowing there wasn't a whole lot he could do.
I think he should have completed that, actually. I think he could have saved it and maybe got them a return kill even. Secret was starting to get into tower range, but he decided against it in the end. Of course, TPing in and having no impact is really bad. But
He might have been Malefist, actually.
He is
possible he
kind
got
of in
his
trouble
TP
here.
Canceled, yeah. The Malefist coming into play again. Eidolon's doing a lot of damage. Fissure, nicely done. Lanham should be okay as a Spirit Siphon now for Ori. He doesn't want to waste too much time in the jungle. Really needs to get that farm and XP up in that bot lane. Which, by the way, didn't even mention that. Ori is in the bot lane with Death Prophet. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, that is pretty unusual. I wonder why they put the DP bottom instead of mid. I feel like the safe lane Storm and the mid DP might be better this game. Maybe they feel like, okay, Storm is our centerpiece. If we put him against Enigma, he's going to lose farm. But look at what treatment he's getting mid. That's no better for him for sure. And I don't think Storm's matchup against Enigma is that bad. He has really good base armor against the Eidolons. He can kill them with Remnant if he comes up close. So Enigma has to always be on his toes with Micro, which is annoying when you're playing Enigma, you know, to have to deal with that constantly.
You're speaking about this top lane being a bad matchup for Centaur, but look at the CS. 9-6 for Centaur versus 11-5 on Razor.
Yeah, he's doing surprisingly well.
Not too bad at all.
At the same time, this is also a Razor that has more creeps running into him, so should be like a 50% farm lead for the Razor.
Yeah,
and of course, well, actually, I'm really impressed with how much Young 11 has been able to do in this lane. I don't think it should be going this well for the Centaur.
Luckily, you don't need auto attack damage.
Luckily, he
for that
just
double
killed
edge.
himself.
It's going to be close, though.
Wait, who killed two?
Health Sap comes out.
Oh my
double
God.
edge. Young 11. What a beast.
See, that's the thing about Hoofstomp that's so good. You love this spell. He missed it and got the kill because he baited Razor in. He's like, my stun is so bad that I missed it. And then you can definitely kill me here.
I mean, double edge,
5-second
good.
cooldown.
I do like double edge. I will say that. One of my favorite skills in the game. Very satisfying. And with that kill, Young 11, despite the odds
I'm so
against
impressed.
him.
He's showing a really good understanding of what his hero can get away with in this matchup. Obviously, double edge is his key to killing the Razor. Razor will drain his damage and he won't have much to do. But when you come in close and have this amount of damage, if Razor has to yield, he's not that scary anymore. When he's running away from you, he doesn't do anything. And Young 11, big kill for him. I have to say, I'm so surprised that this happened.
But you don't get to see that all too often. Yapzor is going to run into that very same Centaur, who's looks like he really wants that bounty, but it's not there. So he's just going to eat a tree and be on his way.
And this is big too. It's not just that he gets the kill and he gets a key item for this lane. I would say Tranquil Boots is definitely the way he can sustain himself in lane for sure. Like Razor will keep trying to play aggressively and drain him. Whatever damage Razor does, Young 11 doesn't really care too much. He's going to heal it up afterwards, and he will find his moments of opportunity. And now that he has this, he can cast Double Edge off cooldown, just go on Ace and do some damage, heal it back up, and force Ace to buy regen, which is obviously annoying for this Razor. He wants to ramp up as fast as possible, like phase boots Aquila. He needs to buy a couple salves along the way. it's not that great. And Young 11 will be getting fast level 6 as well.
Yeah, and Stampede this game is extremely good.
Yes.
Obviously the Enigma has a lot to cancel it, but other than Telekinesis, if it's a Night Stalker trying to get a gank off, that's not going to do a whole lot with Stampede available. They're seeing the Centaur really hate on Lan M here, who's level 2 on the Earthshaker at the moment. Pulling the creeps a little bit farther, trying to get a fissure out here. Looks like he'll get a little bit of farm as a result. Ori getting close to level 5 now, 25 and 12 in the CS department for him, so essentially a free lane, I guess you could call it in a lot of ways.
It's free lane minus Enigma.
We have the hoof stomp again. Yapsor not quite close enough right now, is Young 11. Still working towards that level 6 for himself.
And you can tell he's playing aggressive on Ace when he can. He did 400 damage to him there. Got the stomp and the double edge off, backed off, healing up with Tranquils. Oh, Yapsor's actually going to run into him here. Has the vision.
Yeah, he does. Telekinesis. Looks like he's faking that hoof stomp. And Ace continue the pressure. The plasma field's only level 1, not dealing that much damage. One more right click will do it. He does have vision, and he will get the kill as a result. Of course, now they know there is a ward there, but definitely worth.
That's worth sacrificing.
Absolutely. Paparazzi now level 5 in the mid lane, mid 1. Looks like he's going to give up that rune, which is a double damage for Paparazzi. Of course, once he hits 6, that is a very scary rune to get. Pretty much any stage of the game.
We should mention for this mid lane that this is a very sniper-favored matchup until Storm hits level 6 like this. There's these matchups that are very intriguing to me, where one hero is bad against the other one in lane and then is strong against it in game plan later on. This is one of those examples where Storm loses matchups against a lot of heroes that he's actually really good against. Storm great against Sniper when he gets farmed. Another good example would be Storm against Tinker matchup that we see pretty frequently, at least in pub games, because Tinker is being picked a lot right now. Try to counterpick it with Storm. Tinker gets a free lane, and then it's about, like, do you get a fast hex? Then Storm still is annoyed. But Sniper doesn't really have any tools. Like, what can he possibly buy so that Storm can't be annoying for him in the mid game? There is no item for Sniper like that. So they definitely have to protect mid 1 going forward now that Storm has had a this good laning stage. I'm saying that he has 30 CS minus 7, Sniper's 35. That is very good.
But a lot of denies, though, from Sniper, so the level advantage definitely going the way of Sniper this time around. Ori, Malefice applied.
Not reaching.
Black Hole is available, but yeah, not quite in range this time. Yapsor going to hide in the trees at the moment, place a ward, in fact.
Ward. Yep. I like wards like these a lot. This is just something we talked about. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before. Oh, hang on.
You're going to hold that horse. You're going to see Host Stomp into a double edge and Fissure to follow. Young 11 and company will clean up that pesky Razor. Mid 1 did TP here. He's going to get assassinated off, but a nice Nightmare in the Stampede. Vici will get away safely.
Yep.
So mid 1 back to farming, but this time in the top lane. Let's see if he traverses his way to another lane or not.
So let's see if we have a little bit of time to cover what I was getting at here. So we talked about it yesterday or the day before that these lane wards are becoming more popular, where you place less quote-unquote ideal wards. You have maybe less map vision, or it's not the best map vision you could have in the area. But because they're less easy to deward, sometimes it's better to have like maybe 75% of the vision or in a slightly worse area, just knowing that you have it for the full duration. The chance that this ward of Yapsor at bottom lane will get dewarded in the next 5 minutes is really low. So, got a Malefice on Ori again. Black Hole is available. Fatsa not pursuing this with Night Stalker. They don't have enough damage.
Yeah,
notice Poppy's skill build, by the way.
What do we got here? 2-0-1, holding on to a skill point.
He was holding 2 skill points, actually.
No, we have a Nightmare. TP support in the form of Night Stalkers here. That means that Young 11 and company are getting out of dodge. Stampede not quite available yet for Young 11. He's going to get a hoof stomp off, but it's not going to connect because it is the worst stun in the game. Young 11 on the run, half HP. Assassinate coming through. It's going to be close. He's going to get it. And that is a much needed kill from mid 1. He is the top of the net worth charts right now, 3,700.
If only he had level 1 Boundless Strike there, he definitely would have survived Sunsfan, am I right?
Boundless Strike?
Yes, that's Monkey King stun.
It would have been better, at least. It's easier to hit. I mean,
can that value 0.4?
I always have these very passive-aggressive comments towards Centaurs if I have a relationship with him.
I know. It's the one hero you know how to play, so you have a feeling about it.
You know, I was 6th all-time on Centaur for... Okay, that's quite the stat. Right now, Slax is actually trying to beta test the stat system for Valve. Hopefully they're watching and they can improve the system as best they can.
Yeah, we definitely need them to change the system so it fits Slacks better. That would be
why not?
Great improvement.
Arcane Boots right now on Paparazzi. Looks like we have Stampede. Fissure can't get up the hoof stomp. Not yet, at least. Nightmare.
Horribly.
Yeah, not sure if they wanted the fissure on that side, but either way, it looks like LAN gets telekinesed. Secret will not be able to follow through, though. Hoof Stomp taken by Yapsor. He's not going to be happy. It's literally the worst spell you can get in this game, actually. Literally every other spell is like 10 times better, I want to say. Enfeeble's definitely better, JJ.
Better than Enfeeble.
I don't know. Don't shake your head. Young 11 getting static link, but he's going to turn around the double edge. Lots of damage as Yapsor gets the Echo Slam solo from LAN. Yapsor gets the hoof stomp off. It was a decent one, I won't lie. Double edge is enough to help take it out. And look how low Vici are.
So Yapsor was trying there. He got the lift off in the nuke and the hoof stomp, and he was trying to steal double edge, but the last spell cast by Old 11 was the hoof stomp. If he had stolen double edge, though, that's a double kill. And maybe he even, I think he would have been killed by Fenrir after, but that would have looked really good and been pretty big for him. He would have got full level, more or less, but...
Is there a thing?
I don't think there was a play for him there, actually.
Is there such a thing, like, let's say mid to late game, right? Are there too many good spells? Is that a thing for Rubik? You just have too many that you can't even begin to understand which one to pick up.
Is this some of your rock, paper, scissors shit?
It's a mind game. No, it's not. It's more, there's so many to choose from.
I don't know what to do. Everything I do is really high impact, so I'm going to do none of them.
It's like having a buffet, but you can't eat it all. You can only eat some of it. You're going to get too full.
Isn't that great?
I am American, so I just end up eating it all anyway. Ori, level 9. Looks like Exorcism. When did he use that? Did I miss that?
Yeah, I missed it too, actually. I guess he did some damage to the bottom tower. Nope. Okay, thank you. This stat box has no title or icon.
It's just going to stay up there the whole
Valve
time?
already having that hot fix. Thanks for that.
I can't wait to see this no. Ace is going to be jungling for now. He is level 9. We'll see. He gets a Nightmare off, does Fenrir. Fiend's Grip is available, and zipping in is Paparazzi. And Ace looks like he'll find his way to the grave with one more right-click. Fata with the Black Hole onto 2. Yapsor's here as well. Has the Fade Bolt available to go. The Assassinate not quite enough to take out Paparazzi. Fenrir still on the run. It's going to be close as Young 11 now. Looks like they will get that Bane. And I think that might be it as Young 11 Malefist up. LAN is here with Paparazzi. A little bit greedy, but taking that bounty rune for himself and fill that bottle up. Puppy level 6 on his way up. His Fata just getting Spirits, I think, zipping in again. Nice Assassinate for mid-1, though. Ends up being a 2 for 2 over this 30-second exchange.
And these fissures from Lineham have not been the best this game. He's generally on point, but has been hitting them a bit on the wrong side. They get to pay for it there.
Crippling Fear into the Void. Ace with that Plasmid field. Assassinate coming through again, but they don't even need it. A double kill for mid-1. That is a hero you do not want to give up kills to this early on.
And all of this was, I mean, this was a bit chaotic in the first place with everything that happened. I think the biggest thing for Secret is that Paparazzi died rather than mid-1 getting the kill. They want to slow down Storm's progression. And I think if the Fissure from Lineham is better there, Paparazzi doesn't even need to jump in the first place to try and secure that kill. So a little bit of a misplay, gets punished.
We have an
Fenrir
item.
Finds Puppy. Puppy
We have
dead.
a Nightmare, Hoof Stomp, double edge, zipping again from Paparazzi. That's more than enough damage to take Puppy to his grave, and they're actually going to zip in even further. Very little mana to speak of, but they really want this sniper. The telekinesis is there for Yapsor. Stampede to follow, though. They really want this mid-1 kill, and it looks like they'll find it. A double kill for Paparazzi, another hero you don't want to get kills on if you're Secret.
Gets straight back into it there.
And Blink Dagger was shown there, by the way, by Young 11, so they will have that initiation possibility.
He's having such a good game on the Centaur.
That's probably the most surprising thing, I think, for me in the first 13 minutes of this game, that Centaur did not get completely dumpstered.
He has the same net worth as Razor.
Yeah, that
is not what Secret were expecting for sure when they set these lanes up. So the silver lining, the silver lining for Secret that fight is that they stole Stampede at the end of it. So there is a play potential now for Secret. Maybe a smoke gank into Stampede with Black Hole could be an interesting play. That's a minute for that. That should be long enough time for Spell Steals to stay online. Yep, you will have it for sure. They can try to use it to get Razor in a great position for some draining.
He's going to use it right off the bat to initiate onto the Earthshaker. He's crippling feared and will be brought down one way or the other.
And Yapsor's like, oh, if only I had worse spells to choose from, as he steals Fissure. Has a really big issue with this. I'm sure he would have loved to steal another spell than that.
Well, think of it, I'm more thinking about like 40 minutes in the game. You have like 5 spells at a time that you want.
Okay,
and
so
you have to choose.
I think I get your point here, is that it's difficult to focus because there's so many different things you're looking for at the same time. And then the window's gone when you...
I mean, I gave you the buffet analogy. I don't know why that wasn't good enough. But yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Okay.
Puppy right
You're
now.
wrong, though.
I don't think so.
Nightmare?
No, Nightmare up, and this should be an easy kill. There's absolutely no members of
Okay.
Secret around.
Remember when Night Stalker was a tanky hero?
No.
I do.
That was a long time ago.
He can still be played as a core sometimes.
I feel like it's very, I would say these days, not so much. I mean, maybe in Captain's Draft, though. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen that, maybe. We've seen the mid dazzle, the offlane ogre. The ogre worked, technically speaking. I don't think it should have, but once he got the Aghanim Scepter, like you said, that was a game-breaking item pickup in there.
Yeah, and we were laughing when he got that kill for 1,000 gold outside the Radiant base, and might have actually ended up winning them the game. And he got that 1k bounty. Made a big difference. All right, Vici on the prowl. They're far away from a Blink Dagger on Shaker, so the initiation has to come through Young 11 or a Fissure.
Ace is going to run right into the smoking. The hoof sample miss. Nice fissure from Yapzor. Double fissure now coming out from the other side. And there's the Fiend's Grip. An easy kill onto Razor. Nice attempt from Yapzor, but not enough this time around. Steel Stampede will use it to get away. Always handy being a Rubik in this situation, but he gets caught out for now. Hoof stomp cancel with the silence. Lots of damage coming out from the side of Vici Gaming. Mid one in the meantime. The Black Hole onto 3 heroes with Paparazzi. No mana to speak of. Death Prophet's going to go down. Echo Slam comes out. It's 1 for 2. Death Prophet extremely low. Gets Yules, and one right click takes them down from mid 1. A nice turnaround there for Secret. It looked bad at the beginning, but that Black Hole definitely turned it around a bit.
There's just like, it's like, I have a really hard time remembering the last game I watched a Yapzor Rubik game, and there isn't a moment like this one. Like, he's always going to find some sort of way to make these plays. You know, that wasn't an aggressive play, but he ended up baiting the whole team into an awful position there for Vici Gaming just by stealing Stampede. He runs away, he anticipates the Blink Dagger from Centaur, he jukes off to the left side, and in order to kill him, they start clumping up on the left side and gets 3-man Black Hole there by Fata, and that was without a Blink Dagger, by the way. Enigma just walked in and got a 3-man hold. That is very unusual.
Yeah, he doesn't even look to be going towards Blink anytime soon at the very least. Going to be finishing these drums, and looks like BKB is on the horizon.
There's 2 drums on the side of Secret. They're going to have a lot of drum charges. Razor, or rather Rubik, went drums as his first item as well.
Yeah, we have some TPs here. On Ace, he's going to get zipped on right off the bat. Paparazzi with the stun. First one coming in. Silence onto 2. Hoof Stomp. Only going to be on 1 hero. Assassinate coming through the Stampede. Defensively used. Looks like Bane's going to sacrifice his life for the betterment of his team. Plasma Field connecting on a few heroes. Looks like Ori's going to drop with that Yules, keeping him alive a little bit longer. But it's still a kill nonetheless. Secret, 2K lead, 17.5 minutes in the game. It looks like a tier 1 will go their way.
Vici again having these moments of, I'm not sure how to describe it. It's just, that was really not good. They dove into this tower. They didn't have information about Secret's whereabouts. Even they actually did have a ward between the towers and still chose to go on this really difficult kill. And you could tell that they weren't on the same page. Like his hesitation. Storm jumps in. He's like, this is probably a bad idea. Jumps out. Young 11 is like, no, it's a great idea. Let me go in right after you jumped out. And there's like no follow-up. And Vici just catches himself in this awful position and get punished really hard. Maybe starting to see a little bit of nerves from them. They've been really calm and collected, but that last game, you need to not let it get to you and just reset.
That's the question. We talked about this off mic, I believe. The mental game, I'm not going down that road, don't worry, but the mental game where you have this massively, you don't feel like you could lose. We didn't think they could lose. You said 95-5. You would have been higher than 95% in that game.
Yeah.
What kind of mental attitude do you have to have after a game like that?
I mean, the ideal thing you do is that you realize, okay, our draft was good, we played really well for a long time, and then we dropped the ball and we made a big mistake. And the same thing is not going to happen in the next game, so we can't really spend too much energy on it. There isn't that much to learn from that game except don't fuck up when you're owning, you know? So in this game,
lesson to learn.
They just need to, you know, focus on all the things they did right and replicate it. In this game, they also had a lot of good moves. They're just making a couple of mistakes that just are not, it's not the same quality of gameplay as in game 1 from Vici, I feel, in this. So the question is if they manage to reset or if they're just a little bit less comfortable with the lineup that they have, the heroes that they're playing. Who knows?
Who do you take late game on paper? Because you can go a lot of ways with this. Obviously, I think the biggest wild card in a scenario like that is actually the Rubik. Because
Rubik,
like we said, some of these spells can be completely game-breaking just by stealing and using in an effective manner. Yeah. You can see a zip in. Doesn't think he's going to go onto Fata, though.
I think the guy we just saw there has a big impact in the late game as well.
Yep, as well.
Never
underestimate
Enigma in late game. it's difficult. Like, if we're talking very late game, like 50+ minutes, it's always really hard to go against the Enigma team, especially when you're looking at a lineup they're facing that has one Black Hole BKB counter, which is Fiend's Grip. So if that guy is accounted for at all, Fata will just be able to Black Hole whoever he wants in the fight. Oh, Vici, very dangerous positioning, but could pay off big time if they manage to get a good jump here.
Paparazzi trying to get some vision with that static remnant. Puppey gets vision first, though. The crippling fear. Black Hole only on one. They're going to get canceled from that fissure right off the bat. Midnight Pulse doing a lot of damage. Assassinate coming through. Don't think it's going to be enough. He's actually going to cancel. Or in the meantime, gets the Yules off onto Ace. Not going to follow through for now. Paparazzi actually gets
really quick fissure from Ryan. That was important for Vici Gaming. So they know Black Hole's on cooldown. If they paid attention, they would know Razor used his ultimate. That was Darkness as well. So a lot of stuff used by the Dire. All that Vici used there was the Stampede. So they might look for a play here. They're finding Puppey.
Yeah. Regen Rune applied to Paparazzi. This is going to be an easy kill on the Night Stalker. You have to think. Lanham is here. TP support coming in, though. Telekinesis. Looks like they'll be able to clean up Young 11 at the very least. That's not a bad trade. 1-for-1 for Secret, at least.
Yeah, core for support. They're surely happy with this, especially considering Vici Gaming got the jump there. But it took them quite a while to kill off Puppey. He has gone for a more tanky item build now, and he has the chainmail.
I'm pretty sure that regen is still applied to Paparazzi. Very scary here to deal with. 15 charge on that Bloodstone. Yapzor will be the choice. Gets silenced and brought down eventually. There he goes.
This time I think Vici are going to play more aggressively on Yapzor. I think they're fed up with how much he gets to do in these fights, so Storm will be maybe changing his approach a little bit going forward, trying to jump the Rubik, surprise him, and have any follow-up. When he gets an Orchid, it gets really easy. Then it's actually awful playing Rubik in this game against an Orchid Storm. Until then, you can obviously get the lift if you're quick on your fingers and you see him coming in.
Yeah, but I think the scary thing for Secret is Vici now has ridiculous initiation. Obviously, we've seen Paparazzi in that Storm. We've seen the Blink Dagger on the Centaur. And now we have a Blink available on Lan M.
And did we even talk about the one on Ori? That's very unusual to see this item build on Death Prophet.
That is very strange.
It's probably... He feels like he can't really get in against this lineup because he has to walk through Midnight Pulse, he has to walk through like Bad Vision and Shrapnel, so he feels, okay, if I have a Blink Dagger, maybe I can just blinking on the back line, catch the sniper, and take the fight from there.
Are you able to blink out of Yules defensively if there's a Shrapnel or Midnight Pulse down?
Yes.
Is there enough time to do it?
It depends on your timing. So Yules is 2.5 and the cooldown is 3, right? So if you do it half a second after taking a damage instance, you should be okay. I think Shrapnel deals damage, is it once a second, I believe? Pretty sure.
No idea.
I'm not sure how often Midnight Pulse does. I think both of them do it once a second, but I could be wrong.
And Paparazzi and company grouping up towards this top lane. He is now the top net worth 16 Bloodstone charges. So picked up a couple since buying that bad boy. And looks like Orchid will be the choice for him.
Pretty impressive he only died once this game. That was the first blood in mid.
Yeah, that's true.
Or was it? It was one of the first kills at least.
And he died one of the first ones for sure. Mid one with the Mask of Madness, Crystallis. Looks like Force Staff into Hurricane Pike will be the next thing for him as Fata. Well, he actually will be going good potentially. Might be saving for the BKB first though, depending on how much gold he has.
Options open here on the quick buy.
Which do you prefer for him right now?
I think BKB is better. BKB into Blink, and then...
Yeah, the only thing that cancels would be Fiend's Grip, I believe.
Yes.
Do you think Linken's at some point this game after BKB is something you look for? Or?
Could be a luxury after Blink. If he feels like he's having problems with the Bane canceling his Black Hole, or just wants to have the full confidence that he can't get countered, I can see that. If they feel like they can account for the Bane in some other way, then Fata can get either Octarine Core as a cooldown reduction item, he can try to get Shiva's Guard if they think that is useful, or you can obviously go for a Refresher Orb, but I don't have the mana pool for that with this item build. Enigma, of course, does not have any talents that help with that.
Roshan being destroyed by Vici. Secret, I'm not sure if they knew about it or not, but regardless, did not defend. I didn't read it. I never read any of the stuff he says. We have a smoke, though.
This is the first Roshan of the game. It will not have a cheese.
Great to
For
know.
new viewers out there,
yeah,
cheese is Roshan 2 and onward. And Refresher Shard is Roshan 3 and onward.
Thank you,
and
Cinder.
Ion Cannon is Roshan 7 and onward.
That would be pretty cool. You make fun of it now, Cinder. It's going to happen at some point.
Oh, Paparazzi.
Oh, boy. Paparazzi jumps in. considerable damage. There's the Fiend's Grip. Look at that range, but it gets canceled right off the bat. YapzOr steals it for himself. Is going to use it on Paparazzi, but again, gets canceled again. Paparazzi on the other side of the fissure. Hoof stomp onto 2. Here comes the Shrapnel in mid 1 and the Mask of Madness. On the backside, Ace is taking the brunt of the damage with that Spirit Siphon. He's getting extremely low. Will fall. It'll be a trade of sorts, a 1-for-1 for now. Like the Spirit Siphon going to work as Paparazzi jumps in again. The Echo Slam onto 3 or 4 heroes. A lot of damage being applied. The Storm Spirit will lose Aegis, and Ori getting very low. In fact, looks like Secret might be able to clean up here potentially, but Storm Spirit back with that Aegis. He's going to try to finish everybody off. Looks like the only remaining member will be Fata on Secret's side.
Rare mistake from Fata there. He changed his mind. He cast Black Hole and he wanted to animation cancel it, but it already got off. So that is basically why Vici Gaming won that fight. The moment that Black Hole was cancelled, they're like, go, 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 we can all go in. And then they cluster up because they know that play doesn't exist. It's difficult for Shaker to go for that Echo Slam if Enigma is on the sideline there. He'll just immediately Black Hole after, but with that cooldown out of the window, Vici get the most out of that moment. It did cost them their Aegis though, so not all too bad for Secret, all things considered. Like if you waste a Black Hole like that, it often has really severe consequences. This was like a minor win for Vici. So Secret can probably reset and get ready for the next fight with next Black Hole.
Looks like Ace is working towards an S&Y right now on the Razor. Paparazzi, of course, has been pretty much out of control this game. 13K. That's the first time he died, but it was with the Aegis, so didn't lose any charges. Obviously one of the best Aegis carriers in the entire game. But that was a pretty fast fight after that Roshan, so he won't be up for a long time, so they won't have that to work with at all. See if Secret tries to capitalize on that or not. Of course, on Secret's side, I wouldn't say a very good Roche team at all.
No, absolutely not.
Vici can definitely take it quite fast, so expect them to try to continue with that pressure overall in this game.
So the one thing Secret have for Roshing is the current medallion of Landstalker. Probably going to complete a Solar Crest eventually. Aside from that, their lineup indeed not very good at killing Roche. So I feel like this game is going to be a little bit quiet for a while. I think Vici
75 damage on Centaur.
That's pretty good.
Hit Stampede, for what reason, is unknown.
Stampede for what?
I don't know. It's actually one of the easiest spells for Rubik to steal in any game.
I thought you were going to say it's one of the easiest spells to use by mistake. Like, why?
Well, sometimes the R key is,
yeah,
you know, you get trigger happy sometimes.
It's easy to steal if you're in range. Like if you see him when it's cast, but you know, there's a lot of fights where you can actually use Stampede and it can be impactful, and Rubik can never steal it if you're at the other side of the map and you're Stampeding your team.
Well, of course.
But if it's in the middle of the fight, absolutely, because Centaur's other spells have a decent cast time, so.
Indeed.
Not too difficult to steal. Currently sitting on Ball Lightning. Something we haven't mentioned at all in this game is how YapzOr's playing with Null Field. That's obviously something to keep in mind, but let's wait on that.
Young 11. Here, Young 11.
Airball.
I've seen that before.
Yep.
That's what that skill was created for, to be missed over and over again. He has a Saint Shield. We'll be going Halberd. We don't get to see that very often, but obviously if you can...
Sniper and Razor.
I'd say more against Razor, because you're probably not going to be catching up to Sniper in most cases. He does have the... I believe he has Hurricane Pike, right?
Yeah, well, you have... What is this?
I don't want to read this. Somebody help Slacks out. Tweet at him. Give him all the information you need. He needs all the stats.
Give him all the information that you can so that he can use none of it.
Yeah, Paparazzi, though. He's looking quite good. Going towards the BKB, and the build for Orion Death Prophet, he has the 10-second BKB now. Although he's been dying a lot, he still has a very good net worth, and very defensive build means he's going to stay alive that much longer.
Yep. I have to ask you, though, did you at least get the reference of Slice?
I didn't read it.
Okay.
I just laughed at the laugh.
I know you absolutely despise rap music and hip-hop in general.
Yes.
You do not like it, but the reference was to... No, I forgot his name. That's pretty bad. That's going to make me look...
Thanks for bringing it up, Cinderin. Thanks for wasting everybody's time.
Why can't I think of it? Notorious B.I.G. There we go.
Okay, there you go. You got it, buddy.
I got it back. My mind just froze.
I've heard of that guy. YapzOr. Shadowplay.
Have you actually even heard the name before?
No, I have.
You have? I feel like
it's a basketball player, right?
Yeah, absolutely. If you would like any rap music, it would probably be Notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
That would be something for
I'll
you.
definitely check it out. Puppy and company are smoked up. YapzOr with the telekinesis, assassinated on its way.
Great
Nightmare's
fissure.
there, though. He's going to pop the BKB and avoid the damage. Here comes the zip in by Paparazzi. Fata. He comes in with the Black Hole only on one, but it's a lot of damage being applied to Ori. Still has the BKB applied. The Cyclone not going to keep him alive. The Echo Slam onto a huge damage. Ace trying to finish off some heroes. The Nightmares are very good this game, but it's a 2 for 2. The Sniper dead for Secret, and it looks like they're on the run as Ace. The double kill for Paparazzi. Lan M looks like he's going to get zipped down by Yapzor, who stole that Storm Spirit ultimate.
He's out of mana.
That is definitely a concern. Paparazzi, the hook stop connects into the double edge. Triple kill for Paparazzi. Fata, again, the lone survivor. He did a lot of damage with that black hole.
He was millimeters, or should I say inches, away from getting a 2-man black hole there. If you got Storm in that hole, that's a big team fight win for Secret. So on the edge, right there for Vici Gaming. Paparazzi doing a great job. This is something that you know, you have to be careful with Storm. A lot of the time you can start tunnel visioning in fights. You just jump a guy, you want to do as much damage as possible. Paparazzi's he's jumping a lot around. He's not doing the maximal amount of damage at all with his Storm Spirit plays, but he's making it as hard as possible for Secret to isolate him and bring him down in the fight. And I really like what he's doing here. He gets this kill.
Onto the Sniper. Puppies here with a crippling fear, though. They might be able to get this. Pops that BKB, zips away with very low HP. He's on the other side of the map. I mean, he does have 23 Bloodstone charges after all. Not gonna stay any further. We'll just go back to base, play this quite disciplined. Does not
feel good to use your first BKB like that.
No, it's better than dying.
Don't blame him for trying on that Sniper kill. I think most players would do the same then. He's in the middle of nowhere, if Sniper TP's in and there's no backup behind him, he will die in mere seconds. But quick reaction from Puppy on the silence, and then Enigma stun to force the BKB.
Lan M is going to have a huge impact on this game. Maybe not right now because he might be found out. Sentries placed. Static Link. Nice Stampede. See if they have any more vision. Paparazzi's here to save the day potentially. Hook stun applied into the double edge, and it looks like Puppy will find his way to the grave. Paparazzi very low on mana. Maybe they'll take him down here. Does have the deniability with the Bloodstone. We'll see if he has to use it or not. Nice fissure onto 2. The Urn keeping Paparazzi a little bit healthier. And it looks like he should be able to get away unless Secret really want to dive this further.
Ori just vanished in that fight. He got targeted by Sniper for like 3 seconds and just fell.
Yapzor really looking for that.
Should be a kill here.
Centaur, get the telekinesis.
Oh, they're a bit scared of the response. They actually don't have the vision here. For us, it looks like an easy kill, but Secret don't feel confident. If they had any vision in this left side of the map, they would have probably committed for that Centaur kill, but what if backup is behind him? They back out.
See the Halberd picked up.
Yep, good item here. They need to protect Ori better than this. He can't just run in like that and get blown up. The Death Prophet had minimal impact in that fight, and she is still a very integral part of their lineup. We're obviously talking a lot about Storm. He is the big hero right now. He's not going to be able to do it on his own. This Halberd could help. If this Medusa, that's right. If this Death Prophet jumps in, Centaur follows through with the Halberd on Sniper, they can feel pretty safe in Death Prophet not dying, at least during that Halberd duration.
We have an Arcane Rune on Paparazzi. That's a little scary.
Good rune on Storm. I think it's Storm's 3rd best rune.
I mean, I think he ranks #1 on at least 3 runes holding. Double damage.
He's arguably the best for regen. Double damage. There's still
double damage. He's maybe top 5. But
double damage PA is something.
Young 11. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana. He's going to have to pop that Stampede. The Malefice keeping him in place, and the Assassin not quite enough to actually get the kill. But Yapzor with the double edge, typically the worst skill to get on a Rubik, will actually find the kill with it.
Deals a lot of damage with the aggressive null field as well. We wanted to talk about that earlier, that Yapzor for the majority of this game has been playing with aggressive null field. With his lineup, it makes a lot of sense, but the defensive one is not bad either for his team, as we see a dead dog.
Yeah, it's going to be close. All right, the Fissure finished the mob. Ace a little bit too late to the party. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana to speak of, though. And Vici Gaming are going to be happy with another Bloodstone charge added to Paparazzi. At what point does he become almost, let's say, I was going to say unkillable, but yeah, we'll just say 24 charges right now.
He's unkillable if he doesn't get Black Hole already. In BKB, they can't touch this guy. So, during Black Hole, I think if Sniper gets another damage item, I think he will always be susceptible. Like right now, he might not even die in a Black Hole if he has BKB off. Like Sniper does not hit that hard just yet, and Storm has 11 armor, and will be getting his Shivas. At least at that point, he will survive, for sure. So, I'm still clearly favoring Vici in this game just because of the position the Storm Spirit is in, but it doesn't take much of a slip up to get Enigma. It's one good Black Hole that will allow Secret to...
No, not only the heroes, but I mean, last game, if that's any indication.
That's true.
Just giving Secret in general a second life. Not that they're very far behind right now.
I guess the good news for Vici is that statistically they have a higher win rate against Secret if they do not have a 15,000 gold lead to throw away, so
Yep, that's
trying
true.
to have a better chance.
Indeed.
Here goes Roche.
Exorcism
This
is
will be a
being
big
used.
moment.
It will. Double damage applied to Paparazzi. He's going to do a lot of damage this fight. They're going to find Ace off the bat, or he's going to pop BKB. Looks like the Earthshake is going to be going down. Big black hole onto 4 heroes. Do they have the damage to follow it up, though, is the real question. It doesn't look like it, as Yapzor gets taken down. It's a double kill for Paparazzi. Mid one still applying a lot of pressure from the high ground. Nobody's really going towards him. It's a 2-for-1. Earthshaker will be up in 60 seconds. Didn't get to use really any spells.
He could not have got a better black hole than that. That was the absolutely best possible play in the fight from Fata, and it still wasn't enough. The double damage storm, and they're staying alive with this really tanky Centaur. 3,000 health in hood, halberd, evasion.
Well, you kind of brought it up in the beginning of the game. They have the black hole as far as team fight is concerned. And what else is there?
Yeah,
Plasma field is really pretty negligible at this point.
I actually think Secret's problem right now is mid-one's item build more than anything. I understand where he's coming from, getting some of these defensive items. Like, he feels like I'm playing against Storm Spirit, I have to protect myself and be able to escape. But the fact of the matter is that even these great black holes, where's the damage? This sniper does not hit hard. He has a Crystallis, a Pike, a BKB, and Mask of Madness. This is 15,000 net worth, of which maybe 3K effectively contributes to significant damage. There's not that Daedalus, there isn't that maybe, I guess the old MKB would have been good. But
what would you sub in then? What would you?
I think he finishes the Daedalus. You know, it's just really difficult, right? Like, that's why the Storm pick is so good, because if there was no Storm in this game, I can guarantee you mid-one would not be itemizing like this. He would be getting very different items. But at this point, I think you definitely finish Daedalus, and then you might go for a secondary damage item right after that, and you just play with what you have. You have BKB and Pike. I don't think you can get more defensive items now. So, I don't know if a value Deso could have been a thing this game. Not that big a fan of the item in general on Sniper, but like, they just need anything to kill heroes with Kush. You see, like, it's the same story for Razor, right? Like, that's just the nature of the hero. If he doesn't get a good static link off, his damage is also pretty insignificant. Yeah. His all defensive items, Sancho Yasha, Hood, Drum, and a Ring of Aquila. So,
well, this next few minutes for Team Secret will be very crucial indeed. We have a Storm Spirit who's essentially unkillable in most situations, now with an Aegis.
We have cheese this time on Ori. I think that's actually the bigger thing, because Ori's the one dying in fight.
And he's always like 10 HP, and then he yules himself, and he has no way to really get out. It's just
this is
that's pretty scary.
One of the best heroes in the game to have cheese on, I think. Storm is obviously a great candidate as well. They could have considered doing that, but obviously you want the Aegis on Death Prophet is really bad.
Oh, is Centaur going for a heart? Is he really doing this? Oh,
looks like.
Goodness, that is. Oh, that's so good.
That's a lot of damage on Stampede.
Yes. He didn't go for the return aura though, or the, what is it called? Yeah, the return strength damage. But either way, looks like we're gonna have some action. Paparazzi jumps in onto Puppy. They're gonna find that kill. Another Bloodstone charge for him. He's gonna zip on it again. Remember, does have Aegis. Looks like we have the black hole. Was that canceled? Oh no, for Secret. Fata now on the run as Vici Gaming are invading their base. That's 2 kills in the blink of an eye. And all they lose is the Bane Elemental. Lan with the Enchant Totem, another zip in. Looks like Ori has the Exorcism applied. Echo Slam goes off. It's a 3-for-1 now for Vici. And with that Exorcism, you have to think they're going to attempt to go high ground if the creeps are, and they are. There's 2 siege creeps, in fact. Good lord.
I'm really impressed with Fenrir's play this game with how little farm he has in the Bane. Getting late game key grips like that is not that easy.
Force a buyback out of Enigma, but they know that the black hole is down. Paparazzi is getting pretty low, but again, still has Aegis to work with. Ori's Exorcism has now expired. But Young 11 trying to aggro that tower so he can take it down with that return. They'll be able to get the tier 3, if not more. Team Secret trying to even this game. They're going to zip on in onto Fata with the fissure. It's going to be close. It's going to force out the other side of the fissure. Ori jumps in as well. Mid-1 with the BKB, attempting to get out, but will not do so. That's a godlike streak for Paparazzi, who's unstoppable right now.
No, he's godlike.
Wants to use that Aegis. Shut your mouth. As this Rax looks like it will fall. And Team Secret on the backside here will lose that bottom Rax. The question is, will Vici continue on, knowing that Sniper is dead for 60 seconds?
Absolutely, they have nothing to play off for.
Young 11 with that heart. Oh, look at this positioning from him. 3 towers being damaged by him. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit zoning everyone out. He gets telekinesis, but pretty sure he could just zip away to safety. Another minute 20 on that
He's trying
Aegis.
to communicate with us. What does it say? It says D.
Destruction, I believe, as this mid-racks go down. Look at these tier 4 towers just getting decimated by Centaur. Still has Stampede to work with as well. Remember, lots of damage can be applied with that thanks to all that strength gain he's gotten on the hero. with that heart. The tier 3 top is next. No sniper for 18 seconds. Paparazzi jumps in again. Fate ult is there. Like he's going to try to take out this puppy Night Stalker again. Actually does go down to the Orchid. So the tier 3 tower still standing for now, but you have to think it's going to keep going here. Sniper, though, is back. So does Vici continue on? They still have Aegis for another 30 seconds. They have to be very careful with the timing here. But of course, even if he dies without Aegis, he'll be up pretty much instantly. He's going to zip on in again, this time onto Razor. He will die finally. Echo Slam onto 2 with the fissure, and that should do it. GG's come out, and Vici Gaming have tied this up, turned this series into a best of 3.
I think there's a couple of things to highlight in this game from Vici Gaming. I think Paparazzi got a lot out of this game on the Storm Spirit. Obviously had a great matchup in the game, took advantage of it. I was trying to get the time to talk about this Bane, getting a couple of key theme scripts, especially the one outside Secret Space where he gets the instant cancel on a good black hole from Fata, which is all the more impressive when the only item that this Bane had was like a Windlace and Tranquil Boots. He didn't even have any range item or mobility item, but still playing in a good position. What is that? Oh, you can't see it.
I can see
stat from Slacks.
Thanks, Slacks. Nobody can see that idiot. Good lord. But yeah, Vici tie this bad boy up, so it turns into a best of 3. We'll go to a quick break and see what the panel have to say about this game.